I'm pointing at you.
Die 1,000 deaths.
Uh, Again, not really. I was just thinking about Street Fighter. Uh, Particularly Street Fighter 4, where Akuma has the like Raging Demon super combo thing. Uh, but before he hits you, right? Before he hits you and beats you up, he says die 1,000 deaths. Depending on which language you have it set to, he'll either say it in English or in Japanese. The English version in Street Fighter 4 just sounds super goofy. Uh, Let me see if I can even play it. Here, hold on. Akuma die 1,000 deaths. Street Fighter 4. Here, before I even start, I need to show you guys exactly what I'm thinking of. Okay, that's Street Fighter Alpha. Or Street Fighter 4. Here it is. God damn it, I'm chuckling just thinking about it. Okay. That's it. That's the line. One more time for the fans, and by that I mean me. God damn. You know, Akuma's supposed to be this like edgy evil Ryu, like, well, I mean, evil Ryu is also a character, but it's supposed to be like an edgy Shoto, you know, like, oh wow, he's so cool and demonic and he's a demon and all that, and then he just sounds like the goofiest fucking guy on the planet. In Street Fighter 5 and 6, they tried to like make him sound a little bit more, a little bit less loud, a little bit more like he hates you rather than he's an anime character. You know? Like in Street Fighter 6, he says it a lot quieter, which is a little bit more intimidating and like serious and stuff. But still, I think, and as cool as the line is, like die 1,000 deaths is a cool line. But the way he says it in Street Fighter 4 is so fucking funny. Anywho, you can probably tell I've been consuming a lot of Street Fighter content lately. Watching some Street Fighter videos. Either of just two top players playing like a set against each other, or you know, a given Street Fighter like YouTuber or something like that. Yeah. All right, let's get it. Only 5 people online, it seems. Oh, did somebody drop out of the room? I think somebody left as the thing was happening. Oh well. Or City Run? How did I know? I guessed it. I actually guessed it. And actually, this is a cool track. I think I like it, anyways. So no, but it's mirror mode. I'm fucked. I am beyond fucked. Okay. Then you go this way. And then you do this, right? Kind of. Mirror mode is such a simple thing. It just makes every turn be the other direction. But I have so much trouble with it. Whoa. That was such a tight angle. Oh, I'm alive. Okay. Yo, what's up, Mushroom Peaks, better? Uh, okay. This is one of those tracks I was describing as having held up actually pretty well, despite the design or the polish not quite being there, and I completely fucked up the alignment for that. Okay. Oof. Jeez, dude. Six players? Alright. Preparing the race. Let me pull this stuff up. There we go. Have that in my notes. Good shit, good shit. Random, thank you. Ugh. Somebody's picking peaks. Starry Cityscape. Oh, I remember that one. That's Starry Cityscape is really like it's hard to tell where to go. I think I remember that track from last time. Honeybee Hideout. All right. This track is pretty good. I just hope it's not mirror mode. Honestly, I would much rather custom tracks have 100cc rather than mirror mode. Or if you're going to include mirror mode, you should also include 100cc. I think just including mirror mode is, like, not good. Luckily, though, this is not mirror mode. This is 150. Ow. Okay, there they go. No, damn it. I thought I slowed down enough, but I guess not. That was such a good POW to get me specifically. I don't even remember where top 2 was, or were, when that POW happened. Is there a command for your FC? There is! Exclamation point FC. Yeah, no problem. Alright. No, what? No way. I thought I would get mushroom. What? Where the fuck is that red shell going? Hello? God damn. Okay. Now I have mushrooms. All right. Fourth place box, got triple mushrooms. That's pretty good. Fuck you, Luigi. Son of a bitch. I'm really not happy with the way I'm driving right now. I don't know what it is. I think I'm just not reacting to things correctly, and I'm not using my items well. That's probably it, if I had to guess. Anyway, let me try to get my head in the game with something different. Yeah. Y'all see there was an election recently in Britain? I talked about the election when it hadn't happened yet, but it has actually happened now. I think it was a few days ago. The French election is coming up too, but the British election actually happened. And the Conservatives got blown up. I think everybody expected that. The Labour Party won 411 seats, so they now have a majority in government. But there's some secret sauce there. There's some secret sauce in the UK election that a lot of people that I follow are talking about, because I follow a lot of people who pay attention to politics regularly. But this election was like, in terms of who got like a bunch of seats in government, it was a blowout for the Labour Party. But in terms of the vote, it was actually like embarrassing. The Labour Party only got like less than 34% of the vote, and they got like 2/3 of the seats. Because the UK has a weird constituency system. It's a little bit like the problem that America has with our system, where you can get like 1/3 of the votes and have 2/3 of the seats in some states or whatever, where they draw the lines really fucking weird. You know, that's for one, right? That's like the first thing that's like the secret sauce there. And then the other thing is that like this election result doesn't even matter that much, because the Labour Party have been basically the same as the Tories for the past few months. Like, Labour Party's supposed to be the party of the workers. They're supposed to be all about union rights and fighting against austerity politics and stuff like that. And then they're just not, for some reason. And I mean, I could go on a massive tirade about why the Labour Party has been like really snake-like. It's not just that the Labour Party is acting a lot like the Conservatives. It's the way that they've done that, if that makes sense. Where the Labour Party had some pretty good promises in their like political platform and stuff, but they like went back on them. They like said, Actually, just kidding. We didn't mean that. Education funding? Nah, just kidding. We didn't mean that. Fucking union support? Nah, just kidding. We didn't mean that. Trans rights? Nah, just kidding. We didn't mean that. And on and on and on, right? Like, they're just the conservatives, but slightly less bad. And that's one respect in which this election was really embarrassing for the UK, because, like, the Conservative Party fucking destroyed Britain. Britain was a wealthy country until the Tories took power in the 70s and the 80s. And then, like, ever since, it's been a 40-year decline. Like, they've declined hard. And now they're just a poor country with one wealthy region. And that's because of austerity politics and, like, reactionism that is fueled by and fuels austerity politics. There's, like, a vicious cycle there. And Labour has decided, instead of, like, trying to pull the UK out of that, they've decided, what if we just did the same thing that's been killing Britain for the past 40 years? Because ultimately, the Labour Party isn't really a party of labor, right? They're just another party within a system that favors business interests, which is, you know, capital, not labor. And that's part of why the vote totals were so low for the Labour Party, is because they weren't really all that compelling of an alternative to the Conservatives. The Liberal Democrats, thankfully, you know, got some representation in the government. The Liberal Democrats actually had a pretty all right policy platform, like genuinely to the left of what Labour has indicated they're willing to support, which is good for fighting against austerity policy making. But, like, they didn't perform that well. And there was another party that gained a lot of ground because of the lack of a viable like populist option on the left. You know, because of how the Labour Party's been acting, it left a lot of people really, really disillusioned. And it left a lot of people thinking, like, well, Labour and Tories are just the same. I want to vote for somebody who's, like, different. So there are some people who went and voted for the Green Party, and there's some people who went and voted for the, like, the Liberal Democratic Party. But then there are also some people who decided to vote for the Reform Party. Reform Party was the Brexit Party back in the day. I think they went through a couple of rebrands where, like, they used to be the Brexit Party, and then when people really didn't like Brexit, they decided to become the UK Independence Party, and then they became the Reform UK Party or something like that, right? If I look at the vote totals here, actually I have a Wikipedia page up. I see I prepared beforehand. The Liberal Democrats got 12% of the vote. The Conservatives got a little bit under 24%. The Labour Party got a little bit under 34%. And then where's the Reform Party? They got a decent number of seats, at least. I know it doesn't correspond to votes here. Hold on. UK election 2024 Reform Party? Highlights and key moments. Maybe the Associated Press will have something. I doubt it, though, because American news outlets never give you numbers. They hate numbers. Americans hate numbers, don't you know? Farage won a seat in Parliament. How many? Wait, this has the makeup of the UK Parliament. Let me see. How many seats did Reform get? Only like 3. UK election vote totals 2024. 4, not 5. Results and graphics. Thank you. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so Reform got like 14% of the vote, which is not an insignificant amount. I think the last time there was an election, they didn't get even close to that much, which means that there are people who are saying like, man, the liberals, the or not liberals, the Labour Party and the Tories are basically the same. What if I went with somebody even worse? You know, effectively. Which, you know, from any sane person's perspective, like, you would, like, that's a stupid decision, but you gotta understand that, like, people not known for for their rational decision making usually. You know, so that's kind of what happens. You get stagnation and the lack of like good populist electoral options. Everybody's just institutionalists, and then you get a party that's willing to say like, hey, guess what? I can fix all of your problems if only you hate brown people more. And then if people are like, you know what, fuck it, sure. You know? Because people can be pretty dumb. Ah. Okay. The shock. I don't know. So it seems my optimism the last time I talked about the UK was a little bit misplaced. Um, oh no, I hopped too late, I think. Best item in the game. Let's go. Ow. That's what you get for trying to back red me in this position. I guess. I don't know. Oh, perfect. Get me up there. That's actually okay. I'm gonna get passed by somebody almost certainly. First place. I honestly did not expect to get first after all the stuff that happened that race. Okay. Wow, 9,000 exactly. So yeah, the UK elections were kind of like meh, very meh. Of course, it didn't help that Politico had a like this is clearly outrage bait. Either that or it's like somebody is the dumbest fuck in the world and decided, you know what? Centrism is the lesson we should be learning from this, guys. Centrism works. Never mind the fact that Labor, like, by all metrics, underperformed what they should have done this election. You know, we should learn from the center left winning in the UK. Center left being very charitable to the Labour Party at this point, and adopt a centrist platform for all other left parties. Like they're trying to do the 1990s shtick, but it's 2024 and it's been 30 years since anybody like took that seriously. Radical domestic populace in the UK, US, and in Europe. Yeah, very, very funny. I wonder who is responsible for creating the circumstances that enabled those populists to rise in the first place. This is one of the really easy flaws to see in liberal analysis is that they've been in power the whole time. Liberals have been in power the entire like 20th and 21st century. Like the implicit assumption that they sort of want people to draw at least usually, is that the left is at fault for the rise of the far right. Either that or the far right's rise is literally inexplicable. When in reality, obviously everything's a product of circumstance. Insert meme about Kamala Harris saying, about the coconut tree. The far right was only able to have such a resurgence in the 21st century in like the 2010s because of the liberals. Because the liberals like didn't do anything to improve economic circumstances. It led to people getting more and more frustrated and being more and more susceptible to like reactionary propaganda. And it's pretty transparently dishonest to blame the rise of the far right on an ideological contingent that has literally never held power. You know, it's just like when it's like the opposite equivalent of when Democrats like lose an election or think they're gonna lose, and they just immediately start blaming the left, right? This is like that. They take all the credit when they win, and then they blame the left when they lose. Like that's just kind of what centrists do, and that's what Politico wants to sort of perpetuate here. Is like, hey, the centrists won the election. One being in air quotes because that win was kind of meh, as I explained, and so the centrists should get all the credit for that. And we don't need to pay attention to these radical populists that dare to suggest that, like, I don't know, maybe the system needs to change or something. Like, damn, that's crazy. I'm in first now? This part of the track is very goofy, but I do like this track a lot. Kind of got me there. But I'm still kind of sitting pretty in first, despite all of that. Okay. Cool. I think I've been racing pretty good. I raced that track super well, for sure. Centrist Democrat think tank Third Way argues that Labor's sweeping win shows that centrism wins elections. Buddy, it shows the exact opposite. Corbyn got more votes in 2019, I think, than Labor did this time around, in terms of sheer percentage of votes. Because of the way the system is structured, it rewards being more conservative because it like some really complicated shit I can't get into, but running on a left platform will get you more votes every single time. In fact, this is like the lowest vote total that Labor has gotten in a while. Um, so yeah, pretty obvious rage bait stuff from Politico, but that's content, baby. And fitting that the people arguing this are Third Way because it's disingenuous and snake-like. Very disingenuous of them, because it's just like it's very plainly evident that like this is a dead electoral strategy in every country where centrists have been in charge for a long time. Here, look, they don't even mention the far right. They're only concerned with the left-wing extremists, supposedly, in this other paragraph. This is like the centrist equivalent of third positionism, where people who are fascists pretend not to be fascists. In fact, this might just be third positionism light, because they only seem to hate the left. That track sucks. Yeah, from a design perspective, it does suck a lot. There are so many blind turns. There's just a nostalgia factor, because it was one of the older, goofy tracks. Ow. Ow! I got bumped off. But yeah, I think I've said all I wanted to say about hating centrists and such. Centrists suck. Electoralism, not always the thing that works out for you. So, rip to the UK. Basically, there was theoretically an opportunity to not have centrists in charge and to like actually start fixing the problems that are like ever present in the UK, but they didn't do it because the centrist party cared more about compromising to capital interests. Like the Labour Party literally met with J.K. Rowling specifically, just apropos of nothing. No need to do so. No leverage. Like she didn't have any leverage on them. Just and said like, "Hey, do you want to set our platform?" Like, what the fuck? That's the average centrist. The average centrist loses on purpose. don't believe the pundits when they say like, see, this means centrism wins. Ow. I got fucked. Anyway, future me, cut the segment there. Nothing you haven't heard from me many times. You know, centrism sucks. And have a good one. If you're on YouTube. Hee Ow. Sixth place. It's pretty interesting that they were able to make a track just in the shape of a W. Interesting. They like do the classic trick where you take something that's a really simple shape, but then you widen it so that the road has room to move within that. I really like that. And so then the silhouette of the track is still a W. But then you have the twisty, turny road in between it. Anywho, I think I'll try to take a beat between segments and just have some time to commentate on the game. things like that. Wasn't that Starry Cityscape or something? Banished Keep and Starry Cityscape are like the two most voted tracks. Yeah, because the people that know the shortcuts just win for free. I've learned most of the strats on Banished Keep. There's still a couple that I don't know. This track is a little bit more of a mystery to me. God damn it. And despite the fact that there are shortcuts on this track, this is very much a front-running track. I'm gonna try to do the shortcuts that I know on this track. That's one of them, one of the small ones. Where you do that little turn skip. Oh, okay. And then you're supposed to go this way. Okay. I'm dead. I fell off. Yeah, I got the the shock dodge. The fell off the track shock dodge. That was perfect. Okay. Okay. 3 reds. I'm just gonna get rid of all those. Oh no, I didn't even intend for any of those to hit. I was just trying to get rid of them. Dang. I actually did that time. Cool. I didn't get a box. That's fine. Hopefully I can just drive decently well and gain some ground on people. If I lock in, I should be able to do something at least. Although I probably need an item here. Yeah. 1 mushroom. Okay, that's good. That's something. Aha! I love that shortcut. Bomb. I should have just saved my mushroom. No! Oh! That was way too jank for me to make that. Okay, give me an item. Okay, that's something. Ah. Rip. I think that track is not that good. You see the section on the bottom, that middle section on the bottom of the minimap? That needs to be simplified a lot. Like, seriously. That needs to be simplified. The early section, where there's, like, the twists and turns. I hate Starry Cityscape. Yeah, this track has not grown on me the way that other tracks have, even the more difficult ones. Banished Keep, for all the shortcuts, it is not difficult where to tell where you can go as a like a good route. And even the slow routes on Banished Keep are not that much slower than the fast routes. But Starry Cityscape, gotta say, not adhering to the strongest design principles, I think. There are a lot of new player hostile decisions that were explicitly made, I think, by the designer of that track, and I'm not a fan of that. Lost Ruins. I think... No, that's Lost Fortress. Lost Ruins is something different. I don't remember what this one is. Wait, maybe I do? Maybe. Okay, it wasn't the one I'm thinking of, but yeah, I know this one. Oh, he's on the Shooting Star? What a G. Epic snipe. Yo, what's up, bro? The boss 123. Welcome to chat. Oh, that's a shortcut. I missed it. Oh, you can see it on the silhouette on the minimap too. I kind of like that. Saw your vids. There's some good stuff. Well, thank you. Oh, the chain. Let's go. All right. Whew. After this race, I think I can get into the other thing that might become a segment. We'll see. America really is screwed? Yes, it is. All right, great poll. Yeah, America's screwed. Britain is screwed, I think, and so is Germany. Germany's for sure screwed because, well, there's no. It common to all of these countries is that there's not really a viable left-wing option. There's not really a viable left party. There is, like, obviously there are parties that are to the left of other parties, relatively speaking, but, like, that isn't good enough. You know what I mean? Ow. There is no balance, Lamau? Yeah, no. And you wouldn't want there to be balance either. Like, that shouldn't be the objective. Your objective should be to gradually push things to the left, because that means more progressive social norms, more worker power in the economy, more democracy. To further democratize things, you have to continually push left. The mistake that every centrist party makes, in some cases it's not even a mistake, but like what every centrist party does is say, our policy objectives are to maintain things the way they are now. So they basically try to anchor themselves and not move. But they first of all, they tend to resist movement to the left more than movement to the right. And whenever movement to the right happens, they always they sort of alter their position with that. Their position alters, so the anchor moves, if that makes sense. The Overton window moves. There we go. The spectrum of politics. Founding fathers wanted factions to go against each other so that people would profit. Did or didn't? I think the founding fathers didn't like factions, which honestly is kind of a founding fathers L, because the founding fathers were themselves a faction in American politics, right? Obviously America represented a step forward relative to a lot of feudal countries in Europe, but fundamentally, the founding fathers were just wealthy aristocratic property owners that didn't like the constraints put on them by the feudal order and the king and the monarchist state. So a lot of what they did was to try to free up those restrictions to basically make it so that property owners of a sort of aristocratic type, rather than like a feudal type of property owner or feudal lord, had way fewer restrictions on them. The Project of America was fundamentally one of class self-interest, right? And in that sense, they were in opposition to another set of class interests. They had opposing interests to the American peasants and the property lists, and of course the slaves as well. You know, so therein, that like in every system, you have those built-in factions. I think that ultimately, like with the founding fathers, I think their concern about factionalism was more so just civility politics rather than anything else. They just didn't want American politics to be uncivil, which is like really dumb because politics is the sort of is the struggle for resources. It is like literally life and death, you know? In that sort of situation, you can't be having any holds barred. Unless you can afford to, because you know you'd be the propertied class, if that makes sense. You know, a lot of the flaws that we're now seeing come to bear, a lot of the contradictions that are now reaching a breaking point, were built into were built into the American system by the founding fathers. You know, and those issues, like, that's not to say this was necessarily inevitable from, like, a historical perspective. This stuff theoretically could have been addressed. It could have been fixed and adjusted for. But at every turn where that was possible, politicians and, like, interest groups and whatever decided not to adjust for it. There were also some ideals to help people get a better life. Oh yeah, of course, I phrase it in a way that sounds really cynical, but understand that like even the property interests that the founding fathers had represented actually a significant step up in quality of life from feudal Europe. There was actually a long time, even with the flaws inherent to a liberal system, for a very long time, America was a way more egalitarian place to live than Europe was. You know? It's that like it's the founding fathers' self-interest happened to represent a much better standard of political life than the self-interest of the ruling classes in Europe. And so they used that as a political platform. But then, you know, once America became a much more established state, you know, the contradictions and sort of drawbacks of that platform began to show itself. And of course, you know, history has progressed since then and all that. But yeah, I think fundamentally, I'll agree. Got a couple clan people in the room. Some clan tags. In fact, and then also there's a Twister DX. Apparently this guy was a Mario Kart YouTuber. Oh, he is. Twister was a Mario Kart Wii YouTuber. Yeah. I saw a video of his that was posted 3 years ago. That's not that long ago in the Mario Kart Wii YouTube lifespan. I have a question. Do you think a liberal state like California will be able to fight off the right-wing agenda? Yes and no. That's kind of a more complicated answer than it might seem initially. In some ways, yes, California will be able to... Like, there are some changes that are going to happen in a lot of states that will only affect red states and not blue states. So on that front, like, yeah, that is a thing that'll happen. But on another... in another way... No, because if any changes are made federally, then that affects California as well. You know, liberal states are not 100% immune to, like, a Republican takeover of federal government, right? because federal law reigns supreme. And in some cases, the liberal and conservative sort of economic policymaking are not all that different. Gavin Newsom, who is the governor in California, is known for actually being very anti-union. That's one thing that he and the Republicans actually have in common. So in some ways, depending on the platform of the Democratic Party in the states where they're in charge, they might actually enable some aspects of the conservative platform rather than hinder it. You know? But I don't think those are going to be especially common. More so, like, what I expect to happen is just the Democrats not fighting back all that hard. And like, things will get worse across the board, but they'll get way worse in red states than in blue states. Yeah. There's a problem with the winner-take-all system for votes. It is. It is one of the many problems with it. Although this isn't necessarily a problem inherent to this system. I mentioned that Germany has a similar problem where the only available options are liberal parties and like far-right parties, basically. And Germany has a multi-party system. So it's not just a winner-take-all thing, but it is definitely, from what I've seen, it tends to be worse in winner-take-all systems. How did I not hit anything there? Oh, the shock. What's up, Diddy Kong? You mentioned Britain earlier. What's going on with them? They just had an election. They had the Labour Party won, but I would only say one in like some decently heavy air quotes because the Labour Party only got like 34% of the vote. And then the Conservative Party got 24% of the vote. The Liberal Democrats got like 12% of the vote. And the Reform Party, which is the far-right party in the UK, got 14% of the vote. But the way that the UK works, because there's a mishmash of proportional representation and first past the post, it's like this weird constituency system. Labour has a 412-seat supermajority. And then the next party down is the Conservatives with only 121. So Labour literally has carte blanche to do whatever they want to do, right? Which theoretically should be good, right? Because the Labour Party should be a Labour Party. They should be social democratic or socialist, judging by the name. And, you know, historically, in the 20th century, Britain's Labour Party was actually at some of the forefront of the social democratic and socialist discourse in Europe. But that's actually not the case, because under Keir Starmer's leadership, the Labour Party has insanely like moved to the right. This was a problem under Tony Blair as well. Jeremy Corbyn provided a very brief breath of fresh air where the Labour Party seemed to be re-embracing left populism and social democracy and potentially even socialism. But they have reneged on political promises that were part of their platform to such an extent that they have like almost removed all mention of labor from their party, except for the name itself, going as far as to say that they're the party of business, which means that they're the party of capital. They've reneged on like educational promises, like they've reneged on promises of repealing austerity policies. They've reneged on promises of nationalizing infrastructure and like deprivatizing the NHS. So in Britain, it's kind of like it's a hollow victory. Like Keir Starmer's pretty happy, the centrist Labourites are pretty happy, but this is basically going to be, I think, and a lot of other folks think as well, pretty much the same as when the Tories were in charge, because now the two parties are almost indistinguishable on economic terms, you know? Unironically, the Liberal Democrats are a more left-wing party now in the UK than the Tories or the Labour Party. You know, so that's what's going on with Britain. Things are not great over there. And of course, it doesn't bode well either that the Reform Party is gaining or has gained a lot of ground in terms of popular support because, you know, after generations, after like 2 generations of like conservatism and economic austerity, the you know Britain has been pretty much destroyed, and so that leads people to be very radicalized and disillusioned, which leads people to go to a far right party if there's no viable left populist option, which in Britain there really isn't. In your opinion, why are the major parties that are winning all right, like all on the right wing? In Britain, the Reform Party and the Conservative Party are self-explanatory, right? One's a far right party, the other's the Conservative Party, and I've explained what makes Labour a right wing party, right? That they started out from a position of being a very left-wing party, but have since compromised all of their promises to such an extent that now their platform doesn't meaningfully differ from the status quo. Remember, from one of those videos that I made, I think, liberals are not necessarily a constituent part of the left. Very frequently, they are part of the right. The Labour Party is very similar, at least in their behavior, and in some ways as well in their platform, to a lot of the center-right parties in Europe, which means the only 2 left-wing options in the UK, which there are theoretically left-wing options, are the Liberal Democrats and the Green Party. The Liberal Democrats are sort of a center-left liberal to social democratic party, and the Green Party is, well, the Green Party, social democratic, with a special focus on ecology. So the major parties in Britain have either just been the Conservative Party or they have since become conservative after like abandoning all their left-wing promises. Hell, they even abandoned most of their socially progressive promises, mostly around trans rights. I'm gonna go eat my lunch. Be back in like 20 minutes. Yeah, no problem. You know? And of course, it doesn't help as well. Even if Labor maintains some sort of left-wing policy positions on paper, good luck on the races. Thank you. They've been acting very dishonest in the way that they're fronting their politics. You know, kind of shifting the goalposts continually on what they actually support, to such an extent that I don't think they can be reasonably expected to be trusted to maintain any semblance of left-wing politics now that they are in power. That's why I say that most of the major parties in the UK are on the right. In Germany, it's kind of a similar story with the Social Democratic Party. The left, the quote unquote left party in Germany, the party that's actually called Die Linke, is kind of a joke. They're like very politically ineffective. The Green Party in Germany basically abandoned all of its commitments to green energy because they were so piss scared of nuclear energy, and now they're just the party of coal power. The Social Democratic Party had kind of a similar route to the British Labour Party, where over the course of the 20th century, they had this happen a little bit earlier than the Labourites, but they moderated. They sort of drifted to the center after being in power for so long, you know? And those 3 are the only nominally left-wing parties in Germany. The other ones are either center to center-right liberal parties or like far-right parties, which is kind of a recurring pattern in electoral politics, you know? Sorry, very, very lengthy answer, but there are many patterns that sort of that liberal parties tend to follow, unfortunately. I can't believe I didn't land that. I'm so close. You and me both, Murray. Oh, yes, I made the thing. Oh, shit, that's a shortcut? It's kind of crazy. Oh, no. Oh, dude, there's people on Diddy Kong. There's like more than one person on Diddy Kong Wild Wing. That's based as fuck. I'm gonna use this Mega Mushroom here. I hate when people say nuclear energy is scary. The only nuclear accident they know was caused by the USSR not properly fixing the reactor. Yeah, nuclear energy is one of the safest and cleanest forms of energy that like we have available. It's really good for meeting a lot of green energy objectives. You know, and it was like I think the oil and gas lobby were actually very happy to see the nuclear disaster happen because it meant that they didn't have to they didn't have to work super hard to like turn people against green alternatives, you know? One green and fifth. It's basically just steam power. Yeah, you're just creating steam with some spicy rocks that you found. And those spicy rocks are like contained in a containment field. You know, it's not like they're gonna hurt anybody. At least you know when they're properly contained. And like even RBMK reactors, the type of reactor that Chernobyl was, even though it's like one of the cheapest cheapo models of nuclear reactor, it's very safe. They had to specifically like create the circumstances under which that disaster took place, you know? And ideally, your nuclear reactor wouldn't be an RBMK reactor, you know, the cheapo type of reactor that lets that happen. So then in that case, there's like 1 million more fail safes. And the worst that can happen is like, uh-oh, the plant, like maybe super extraordinary circumstances happen. The plant itself is unsafe. You know, you may need to go into, you know, may need to wait a while and like do some sort of fucking procedure to deal with an internal meltdown. But yeah, they just got caught by that fear mongering, and then now the Green Party in Germany is basically just the coal party, which has been infinitely more destructive than that, or not infinitely more, but like orders of magnitude more destructive than the Chernobyl nuclear disaster. Entire towns, like entire cities, have been irrevocably wiped off the map in Germany because they needed to clear area for coal mining. It's like legitimately a political problem there. I tried to do a cheeky bomb snipe, but it didn't work. Okay, golden mushroom, not bad. Ow. I'm just gonna start throwing these. Okay. The best item in the game. Let's go. I reliably miss that boost panel, and I don't know why. I think I want to chain these. Oh shit, Twister got bumped off. Ow! The hell, dude? Okay, that works out. Ow. Everything is happening at this last section. I don't understand. Please give me a box. No. Also, I was talking to some friends. We talked about how people in the right will not talk to people on the left because they think they're crazy. I've seen firsthand. It really shows in the state of the country. Yeah, there is like a very real. That's a very real gap that exists, and you know, people could very easily both sides this, but it's very clear from all of the news coverage and data and studies that are like constantly circulating that it's like they're so divorced from reality. People on the right are so divorced from reality. They're so divorced from the like the data and the actual outcomes that are happening as a result of policymaking and the communities that are being impacted that they'll just like fucking I don't know. The right has gone insane, genuinely. Not that they were ever not insane, but like even more so. Yeah. But you know, with a lot of people on the right in real life, they are exactly as insane as they seem. But they might not be terminally online sort of insane. They might not be like too far gone yet. It from a rhetorical perspective, all it would take, and it's painful because it requires a lot of patience that you know, if you care about them, you might not have, because you know that means them still being too far gone. It just takes planting a seed. Ow. Oh, there's a strat on this track with the ramps or something. Yeah, it's like that. But I need an item, so that's what's up. No, I didn't get a chain. All right, I'll use it. Damn it. Rip. The shock some point. I'm gonna use this here. The tension's killing me, dude. No shock yet, which is very disconcerting. I'm alive. Which box you going for? Okay. Chaining this. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Okay. All right. This is a very dangerous spot for me to be in. Okay, I did the thing. I did the thing. Please don't bump me off. I'm just not wheeling. Okay. We're good. No, I meant to throw that forward. I imagine if I would have gotten first here. But, it's fine. Oh. That was a tight race. Except for, oh, those poor bastards in the back. Ugh. Damn, this room filled up. Which is awesome. Whew. Let's go. What we got? Grand Archives. It's been a while since I played the Grand Archives. Fortress, Aquadrome Stage. Pretty typical, I think. Okay. Aquadrome Stage, oh boy. I can never do the beginning part correctly on this track. Like, I've done it once or twice, but I can never replicate what it is about it that I did. Alright. At least it's not mirror mode. Let's try this. Almost. That cost me a lot of time, but I was actually very close to getting it. Yeah, going for a wall trick is a lot of fun there, but you can see I gained time on that person who did the wall trick. Even if you do it right, I don't think it's faster. Doing a wall trick on that ramp is faster on the last lap. Please? Okay, kind of. Kind of. It was not pretty, but I think I got it. Mr. Beast says he would run for president, Lamau. Oh, it's a little bit late for that, but, you know. That is kind of a lol, Lamau, even. Throw that at me, yeah. I think that's just him being content brained, if I were to be perfectly honest. I don't think he will or wants to run for president, like, you know. But yeah, fuck it. Maybe he's trying to capture that Markiplier Riz. Now that Markiplier's 35, people just call him Mr. President. Oh, is that how you're supposed to do it? Dang. Wow, what a shock. That was brutal to the people behind me. Mark would be better than the candidates we have now. Oh yeah, for sure. He 100% would. The concern I have with him is just I don't want him to be president because the presidency fucking destroys whoever it is that is the president, you know? No, I was just about to. Well, I guess if I used the mega, I wouldn't have gotten the like benefit really in the shortcut. with Markiplier, I'm like not even to. Yeah, it's a young man's game. Look at Obama. He looked 20 years older after his presidency. Yeah, and look at what 4 years of that did to Joe Biden. Granted, he wasn't in great shape in 2020, but now he's like dead on his feet, right? With Markiplier, I can infer that his ideology is at least agreeable. Like he wants good things to happen, even if he's not like Mr. reads political literature all the time, right? He's a cool dude, and I think from Markiplier's personality, from his channel, from his personal life, what I can infer is that he likes doing things and wants to do things, which makes me think that yeah, he would in fact be a way better president than either of the candidates that are running right now, because Joe Biden didn't didn't do all that much, um, you know. Although again, the presidency would destroy Mark, so I don't want him to. I don't want him to actually run for president, but I will still like keep calling him Mr. President. You cannot take this from me. But that does actually relate to that relates to something I wanted to say about Joe Biden's candidacy. I don't know if I will make this into a segment, just because it seems like so much of the news cycle has been revolving around Joe Biden like doubling down on being the candidate, even with like worse support than Hillary at this point in the campaign, and like with the inner Democratic circles and liberal media circles like fully in doubt mode. Why is that? With Biden doubling down? Because he's being gassed up by his family. That's almost like entirely it, you know. And it's also because he's a liberal and is incapable of understanding the sort of material forces at play. And I don't think he even cares all that much as well, you know. It's sort of a I don't know. I guess it's characteristic of a sort of liberal arrogance that has pervaded politics for a very long time. Um, you know? I mean, for shit's sake, he like he did that interview, right? And basically said that like it's all right, Jack, as long as as long as I did my best and had fun, basically, then that's all that matters. With like completely no understanding or willingness to understand what is on the line or what has been on the line for years, you know? You need to win. Yes, that's all that matters in politics. You know? He like straight up the way that Biden was talking in that interview, like, oh, it just matters if I have, as long as I did my best, and like completely disregarding all of their fucking supporters and voter base, and like even the donors at this point, which is almost unthinkable for Democrats. Um, it's very evident that what happened was like Joe Biden and the Democratic Party copied all of the stupidity, narcissism, and fucking what is it, like self-interest or whatever, and elitism of Donald Trump, with none of the Riz or populist rhetoric. Now, this is, you're right. This isn't Pee Wee baseball, and I don't think the Democrats understand or care. Right? Like they're committed to not understanding that. They run the government like it's an institution with way less power than it actually has. Partially because I think they've forgotten how to use that power, but partially because I think they have an ideological objection to exercising power at all. Like I said, to them, the sort of liberal institutions are so sacred to them that they're devoted to not using them. Gained a couple spots at the end. You know, the fact that Democrats are treating running for federal office and running a government like, I don't know, running a nonprofit like an NGO that does charity work does not bode well for anybody except for the Republicans. Yeah. And that's part of the reason that I say this country is cooked, because it's either the Democrats who have all those problems or the Republicans who just want to kill people. But, you know, also like I said, this is just the It's So Jover chapter. There's going to be a We're So Barack chapter. It's just going to take a while. GCN Rainbow Road. Big boy track. Long track. America's like that sometimes? Yeah. I didn't get a box. That's probably okay. That's not okay. Watch me take this super tight. I gained a ton of time on Link. I've actually noticed this with Luigi specifically in Mario Kart. Luigi can't take the turns as tight as some of the other Mach Bike characters can, and that actually that really matters. I'll just use it there. Back in the Gilded Age, people thought that wouldn't be better than Teddy Roosevelt came along because Teddy Roosevelt was a populist. And also, the circumstances in America are more analogous to the circumstances in Weimar Germany than 1920s America. The circumstances, like, in the 1990s and 2000s, before the groundwork had been fully laid for, like, a fascist takeover of the state, were more analogous of 1920s Gilded Age America. In fact, the all indications were, I've read data to support this, all indications were that the economic inequality and like capital control over resources is worse today and has been worse since the 2010s than it was like immediate pre-World War I. In like the worst days of the Gilded Age, things still weren't as bad as they were throughout all of the 2010s up until now. You know? We never got our Teddy Roosevelt. Or Teddy Roosevelt 2, I should say. In the GameCube days, I might be kind of fucked, because this is a 2-lap track on GameCube. Oh, I almost got him. Not quite. I keep trying to go for the most content snipes of all time, but it's not exactly panning out. Oh, I got somebody. I got Luigi? Oh, shit. I'm back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I wish there was a president that just bullied Congress to make things better. Yeah, I mean, the only people that we have that will do that are people who will bully Congress to make things worse. Bullying Congress is one of the things that the Democrats and liberals in general really don't like to engage in, because it's like uncivil, it's impolite. And so nothing gets better because you're not willing to use the sort of power, be it either power in the letter of the law or power like on a social level that you have, you know? I wish we had that too, but the circumstances right now are like, you know, the Democrats have kind of promised that they won't do that. So we're not going to get a president that bullies Congress for good things. But obviously, you know, the Republicans are perfectly willing to bully Congress to do bad things. What happened there? How'd somebody pass me? Maybe it was lag and he was like actually in front of me the whole time or something. My game just caught up at that point. Preparing Zillies. Close that tab now. Yeah, get that right here. I am literally sweating right now. It is hot in here. Ice Cream Fortress. Oh, I know. I think I remember what that one was. That's good. It's a good one. Methinks. On an unrelated note, have you bought anything on the Steam summer sale? No, actually, I have not. There hasn't really been anything that I've been looking to buy on Steam. You know, a lot of my hobbies don't really require money to engage in. I play games habitually. I play this habitually. I play Street Fighter habitually, which I did recently buy something with that, but I don't think it was on sale. I play Super Smash Bros. Habitually. You know, all games that I have and have had for like a while. Plus, I emulate quite a bit, but, you know, don't tell Nintendo. Imagine. Alright, Mushroom Peaks. I actually know how to race this, so. Okay. Damn. Okay. I should have been patient and just readjusted my angle there. I think, you know, impulsiveness got the better of me. But, sitting pretty right now, relatively speaking. Never mind. Please put me at the end. Okay. So I got the good respawn. I'm just gonna start throwing these. And I'm gonna chain this, I think. Get that out of there. I got more green shells. People must be, like, hoarding power items and, mushrooms and stuff if I'm getting green shells in 7th. Ow. Just gonna get rid of these. Okay. I almost don't even know where to use this. You know what? I'll go for the shortcut up there, on the big mushroom pad section. I don't usually do that, but, you know, might be a good idea. Let's get it. Just trick on every single one. Hope it works out. Come on. Yes? Okay. I actually did it. It's been so long since I did that I didn't really remember how to do it. But you want to know the crazy part? I do remember this about it. There's a way to do it shroomless. any globe changer work with CCGP? I don't know. I have not used any of the globe changer things that let you change your location or change where your location appears to be. Dangerous situation. He was getting hot on my tail. I had to do something. I'm back in the room. Nice. Oh, woo, target shock. Wow. It should put me at the end, I think. Yeah. I'm content to be in second here, I think. I'm going to throw this back right here. That was a good use of the mushroom. Whoa, what? That was a crazy confluence of item placement that had to happen in order for that to occur. All right, second place. I might even clip that later. All right, let's go. That almost took the 5-minute 45 time limit. Really? I wasn't looking at the timer. Yeah. Is that still the time limit? CTGP? CTGP time limit. Yeah, holy shit, it is. The original game used 5 minutes as a limit. CTGP Revolution and LE Code increased that limit to 540. LE Code Build 37 and later supports limits up to 525 seconds, or 8 minutes and 45 seconds. Wow. Okay. That's one of the supporting arguments, I think, for Peaks being a like Peaks should be a secret track in the pack is like I don't think that's great to put right up front. And of course, there are tracks that are less deserving to be in CGGP. I'm gonna pick Bowser's Termination Station for you. Well, thank you. Again, you don't need to pick the track that I want. You should pick the track that you want. I'm perfectly content going random. Infernal Pipe Yard. Okay. This is one of the 2 Pipe Yard tracks. There was another one that was almost just like this one, but that one got removed. Which is interesting because I think that one was a little bit easier to drive. I got somebody. Now let's see if I can do anything with this lead. You know, if I can widen it at all. Okay, so far so good. I think that was actually smart by me to do that. That mitigated the damage that POW did to me. Okay. Ooh. Very close to being like a really good target shock, but I managed to land on the ground. I think they got, like, whoever used that shock got the person in second. Yep, the combo. That's the drawback of playing first place like that, is that if you get blue shelled, you're almost certainly going to get comboed because everybody behind you knows that first place has been throwing back a bunch of items. Not to say that like that you not doing that guarantees you won't get comboed, but it's certainly more likely that you'll get comboed if you've been throwing items like that. I'm gonna chain this star. Oh shit. Oh, this is a great item to have going into lap 3. Oh, what happened? He fell off. Somehow got that section right. No animation trick? That's kind of rare. Playing with fire here. And I win. Even though the blue shell came, it was just a little bit too late. Woof! What a tight race. That was a good race, despite me thinking that that track is not great and it has a lot of has some distinct flaws. That was a really good race. Usually races on this track are a little bit more stratified, actually. You know, first tends to break away a little bit more. That race was more packed than I intended. Yeah. My man's out here manipulating the outcome of the whole race. Ah, yes. I did not intend to manufacture that race to be so close. However, it was so, because I ordained it. My man's is a god outside of the game or some shit. Hazard's Castle 1. Very tight track, very hectic. This tends to produce the kind of races that we saw last time. But now that I've said that, I fully expect it to be very stratified. And so far, we've got the beginnings of that, you know? Use this pout. Out. And it's also only 3 laps, which is very, very short. Best item. That was almost certainly the only shock that's going to happen. Races, like, usually aren't even long enough for 2 shocks to happen. Oof. Never mind, that was a pretty packed race, too. Well, I guess I say never mind, but I did predict initially that, like, yeah, this track tends to give very packed races. We've gotten 7th if I didn't get back spammed at the line. That sucks, dude. That's one of that. I described last time. That's one of the things that gets me really mad is when I get back spammed at the line or in a very low spot. That like, oof, that really gets me. Because at that point, it's just like, fucking, like, that's just fucked up. And now it's just, you're stepping on me to step on me. Like, what the hell? It's one of those play styles that I absolutely abhor in games. Like, sometimes it can be employed to get one person to win. Like, but sometimes the other person just wants to make you lose, and they don't necessarily care if they win, which is, like, antithetical to what a video game is to me. You know? Like, dog, we're here to enjoy ourselves. I'm not here for cock and ball torture. Like, if you are, cool, but don't drag me into it. Okay. Oh, no. There's some sort of secret sauce that you do there. I don't know what it is, though. Just get rid of those. Ooh. What if I do? Yeah. Ah! I'm almost getting hit by like 5 different things. Ah! Okay. Yay, I dodged the shock. And I have 3 mushrooms. Still have 2 mushrooms. I landed on that. That's dumb. Hit the car. Yes! Oh, I'm so good. I'm so good. Am I gonna get first? I think I'm gonna get first. Holy shit. What a finish. That was, if I'm dropping the whole facetious affect, that was completely undeserved. I had good item usage, but so many things went wrong and I made a lot of mistakes. That was my blue, by the way. Thank you. You got me first. Man, people, you're right. Banished Keep, people seem to like that track. People really like the Kaizo tracks. Except, my man's Twister, he's got the good taste, the Yoshi Circuit, the track that is shaped like a Yoshi. Everybody loves that track. Bluster Blob Bluff. That sounds like I wasn't even speaking a real language, but that is a track, and it's actually an alright track. New Moon Manor's pretty good, too. This track, for how crazy it is one of the less difficult tracks, I think. There are some advanced shortcuts. There's like a couple, but most importantly, I think it's clear and evident where to go for new players. Why are people picking Mushroom Peaks still? They want the free W. Everybody thinks that they know how to drive Mushroom Peaks better than everybody else. And that includes me, but also most people have no concept of what makes good or bad track design, so people will pick Mushroom Peaks. You know, I don't because I recognize it's not a very good track. But, you know. Ooh, okay. Unfortunately for you, Batman, I have triple bananas behind me. I didn't do anything to stop the blue shell, but... Ow! Sup? I didn't get an item! Damn it. Don't be blocked? Yes. That's out of bounds? Dude, I thought I had a little bit more leeway leading up to that ramp, but I guess not. I have to use this. I'm way too far behind. Okay. That's good. I'm still in 8th, but I'm way closer. I'm gonna chain this, I think. I don't know. Chaining seems like the right thing to do. Okay, that's a good chain. This is great item usage. Oh! Oh my god. I actually made it. Genuinely crazy. Ow. You pass. Yeah. No! Fucking dumb. Give me that box. Yes. Oh, I see. I might ruin somebody's day. We'll see. Oh, that guy was just doing that to be a dickhead. See, that's the kind of backspam that I absolutely hate. That absolutely gets under my skin. That guy would have gained 0 from hitting me with those green shells, and he fucking threw them backwards anyway. Don't do that. Don't be like that. He was getting, what was he, 4th? He was 1 spot in front of me. He was getting that position no matter what. And he knew that, too. But ultimately, he didn't hit me, so I didn't get as mad as if I had gotten hit, but... Bluster Blob Bluff. Why do I feel like that's gonna get picked? If we get peaks again, I might actually, like, be, like, really disappointed. Okay, Dragonite's Island. I guess we haven't seen this one yet this session. At least not, it hasn't been picked yet. Isn't there a thing where if it gets picked, there's an amount of races until it gets picked again? Yes, that is a thing. Unless literally everyone picks that track like over and over, there is a feature in CTGP that prevents the same track from being picked twice, unless the host always wins the vote is enabled. But I don't think it's enabled in this room. So like you can't get peaks twice in a row. You can't, unless literally everyone is picking peaks, that won't happen. Ow. I'm getting bumped by the Wiggler, the Gyarados. What? Get rid of that. Oh, you got the golden Weevil. You're a gangster. Oh, shit. Well, Beat's running into that Eevee, for sure. That's difficult to do, but I like doing it just to flex. It doesn't even save that much time. I don't know what this person is doing to get across this, but I can't replicate it. I don't know. Fortunately, he sucks, and he hit the Wiggler. I have a red shell and a mushroom. Fuck it. Not as clean that time, but, we take those. I'm saving this mushroom for that shortcut that I can never do shroomless, but that's theoretically it is possible shroomless. I'm not gonna red you. Okay. Dude, whoa. Oh no, was that the Diddy Kong that got hit by my red shell? Oh my god, that would be tragic. We kind of got fucked up. Or that race was kind of like, there were some people that just got fucked up. Yoshi Circuit. Why is Minion still playing? Because he has 9999. I think, he might just be playing for the love of the game. And I don't blame him for that. Having, like I said, VR doesn't matter. So, who cares if you lose it, I guess. For me, it's just like, I don't know, getting to 9 someday might be nice. But if I just keep playing regularly, I'm going to get that eventually. I've played for, how long has this game been out? 16 years? Played the game for 16 years and haven't gotten there. That's all right. There's plenty of time left in my life. And if I get there once, I'll be pretty happy. It's like, yeah, I got there once. And then it'll be fine. I only need to get 9s once to prove I can do it, so there's no rush. And even then, like I said, VR is a very arbitrary measure. It's like, it's not very indicative of of stuff. Ow. Ooh. I get somebody with that? That'd be funny if I did. Oh. I'm using this. Whoa. Okay. Bro, this is wacky. This is the craziest first lap ever. I got another mega? I pulled this in third? Hello? Okay. And I dodged the shock? What is going on in this race? Yoshi's Circuit gives some great races. Ow. I'm putting this back. Did he, no, he got hit by that. He didn't have a mushroom. Okay. Ooh, okay. Obviously, I'm susceptible to blue shells, but... Okay, now I'm relatively safe from red shells. Which is good. Three for three, baby. You just gotta not wheelie there. It's a little bit like the Dry Ruins sand hop shortcut. That was a great race. I think I raced super well. And in fact, I think I'm prepared to end the session there. It's almost at 2 hours, which is how long I usually stream. And that was some good shit. I think I actually made 0 mistakes that race. That might have been a perfect race for me as far as, like, major decisions. Dominating all these boomers? Yeah, true. Yeah, old school people don't remember. There are some tracks that have been in CTGP for fucking forever. This is one of them. GCN Bowser Castle is another one. And, you know, Mushroom Peaks is another one. I tend to do well on the, like, much older custom tracks, which is funny. But yeah, I think that's a great note to end it on. Proven I've got the sauce on Yoshi's Circuit. And now I'm going to go find somebody to raid. Oh, what is this? Rediron Gateway Day 1. Doubles, character diversity, singles pools. What? I'm in streaming a tournament. I don't know what that's about. Okay. Alright. We'll see whether this is actually him just playing or if he's streaming like a tournament. I don't know if I want to do that. There might not be a raid this time. Yeah, okay. No. No raid today. I'll see you guys next time, which should be Monday, because today's Saturday. Later.